The film is Robert Shaw, A Man of Many Voices, and this is a good portion of the creative team behind the film. Amy edited, and you guys
We do graphics.
Yep. So, Scott, you're getting to be a regular.
Yeah, I try to be.
Yeah.
So anywhere you get in here.
He's in here as much as I am almost.
Yeah.
And congratulations on the standing ovation for Trigger.
Thank you.
Which is a very incredibly powerful documentary. Very good. This is a totally different kind of thing. Tell me about it, because it's got a lot of buzz. This is a big event for the music industry here, and a lot of people are going to be packing the theater.
That's great.
Tell me about how it came up.
Well, it was instigated, I guess, by Kiki Wilson, who was the producer, and she sung with Robert Shaw for decades. And I mean, well, she still sings with the Atlanta Symphony chorus, and she just was passionate about this story, and she raised all the money herself. She spent years, probably 5 or 6 years, just collecting images and footage, along with another producer, David Druckenmiller. And so by the time it was ready to edit, they just dumped all of this in my lap, and it was sort of like, just embarrassment of riches, I guess.
How do you characterize that? Is it like you're sculpting something out of a
exactly
out of a large stone?
Mm-hmm. Yes. It's and sometimes you hit these really hard spots in that stone. But yeah. So we had all those images that she collected, and then Pam Roberts, who is a local director, also she directed most of the interviews, and also shot some B-roll that was sort of evocative of Shaw's offices and things like that.
And explain to the audience out there, Robert Shaw. I had when I first saw this title, I thought Robert Shaw from Jaws, but no, it's a completely different Robert Shaw. Someone who's well known in his field.
Right. Well, he's probably the most famous, and he's a revered choral conductor. Mm-hmm. But I've had the same thing too. It's like I almost just in advance say, not the guy from Jaws, but if you ask anybody who's familiar and loves choral music, he is the guy. He's the best that's ever been, and probably the best that'll ever be.
How did you guys get involved?
We've always wanted to work with Amy. Amy's been one of my local heroes as an editor. She's a phenomenal editor. She came through some of the same workplaces that I did, and has always done amazing work. And she came to us and asked us to do the graphics for the film, and we wanted to just accentuate this story. It's such an amazing story of a person who chose to come to a smaller town, coming from New York, coming to Atlanta, and making just an amazing impression on the world, mm-hmm. and really wanted that story to be told. So we just, whatever we could do to add to her edit was really what we did.
That was really important, because when Robert Shaw was coming up, there really is not much in the way of imagery to portray that early part of his life. So we did have a lot of photographs, but you can only have so many photos before it starts turning into a slideshow.
And that's where your job comes in.
They made them three-dimensional and gave them a lot of drama and shading and lighting, and sort of brought them to life. And then we added sound effects to them to kind of help enhance that feeling.
We have to talk about this as well. This is the 25th anniversary of Daughters of the Dust, mm-hmm. which was shot a few miles away from here, and you edited that film.
I did.
It's had an unbelievable resurgence. Of course, Julie Dash is going to be honored here for that. Did you know at the time you were doing it was something extra special, and did you see it having this kind of afterlife?
Well, I knew it was a unique film, but I mean, I was sitting in her living room editing. It was the last film I edited on film, mm-hmm. before we all went to computers. And I think I did 5 different projects with her, but this was the first one. And we worked and worked and worked, and we'd show it to people. It was made for American Playhouse, and that's where it first, that was their backing. And their producer, Lindsay Law, came down, and it's like, it's very nonlinear. and I recut it to where it was more linear, and now people look at it and go, I love the nonlinear aspect of this
Right.
film. It's like, you should see it.
Exactly.
But we didn't really have any inkling until it premiered and it screened in New York at a theater for almost a year straight.
Mhm.
It's like, wow, so.
And as New Yorker Magazine proclaimed it the best film of 2016 as well. So, good.
Yeah.
And Robert Shaw, where can we find the film after it's done its festival circuit?
Well, we're talking to American Masters about it. We have our fingers crossed for that, and I know it will air locally on Georgia Public Television, and so it'll probably show in some form.
It's going to
on
be around.
PBS.
It's gonna be
Yeah.
around. Okay. Thanks very much. Congratulations and good luck with the film.
Thank you.
And other films. I'm sure we'll see you again very shortly. Right.
Yeah.
As always. And how's your BIFF experience this time? This is your second time
Yes.
here, right?
Yeah, actually, that's including Daughters. That's like 4 films,
films,
I've
right,
had
yeah.
here. Bratz, which was I think your first year,
Mhm.
and then AKA Doc Thomas, which was the first time I came here, and
Also a huge reception.
I had such an amazing time, and I wanted to come back so much. So I actually told Ron, we have a new film. But yeah, they treat you like a rock star.
Yeah, we-
which editors never get that. So
We work on repeat business, so
yes.
spread the word.
Oh yeah, I've told everybody it's my favorite festival.
Thanks a lot.
So, okay.
Get more at BeaverFilmFestival.com and look up the archives at LocalTreeWeekly.com. We'll see you next time.